You are sitting in a warm, comfortable room, staring at a small glass screen. It is 11:30 p.m. You sent a message to the person you care about 2 hours ago. Hey, how was your day? A simple question, an invitation to connect. You see the double check marks turn blue. Or maybe you just see the word read, and then nothing. No typing bubble appears, no quick, casual reply. Just a cold, digital silence that seems to stretch across the room. In that quiet moment, a subtle but distinct shift happens in your body. Your heart rate ticks upward. Your chest feels slightly tight. You try to tell yourself it is fine, that they are probably just busy or tired or asleep. But a quiet, ancient voice in the back of your mind starts whispering, "What did I do wrong? Why are they pulling away? Why are they leaving me stranded?" Now let us perform a mental experiment. Let us erase all of this. Erase the smartphone.
Erase the cellular towers, the electric lights, the central heating, the comfortable couch, and the solid, locking walls of your modern apartment. Instead, imagine you are standing in a vast, wind-swept savanna. It is 50,000 BC. The night is pitch black, and the only thing standing between you and the predators prowling in the dark is the crackling warmth of your tribe's campfire. In this world, isolation is not a social awkwardness or a minor romantic disappointment. If the tribe decides to move away from you tonight, if they leave you behind while you sleep, you will not survive to see the sunrise. Your brain was wired under these exact conditions. For 99% of human history, social connection was not a luxury, it was literal life insurance. Our brains developed an incredibly sensitive alarm system designed to monitor our bond with others. A threat to that bond was processed by the mind as a threat to physical survival. But this evolutionary wiring leaves us with a profound modern paradox. Why, in a world of absolute safety and comfort, does the person we love the most suddenly treat closeness as if it were a mortal danger? Why do they pull away the very moment we try to get close? This is the mystery of the avoidant attachment style. And to truly understand why it happens, we have to look past modern relationship advice, beyond the self-help books, and dive deep into the cold, calculated logic of our evolutionary history. Let us look at a typical modern scenario. Meet Alan and Sofia. They have been dating for a few months. In the beginning, everything was effortless. They laughed, they shared stories, they spent hours talking about everything and nothing. Alan feels a deep connection growing, and naturally, he wants to take the next step. He starts asking about their future, sharing his deeper feelings, and trying to integrate Sofia more into his life.
But as Alan steps forward, Sofia takes a step back. Suddenly, she starts feeling a strange, suffocating pressure. She tells herself she is just too busy with work, or that things are moving too fast. She starts canceling plans at the last minute. She takes hours, sometimes days, to reply to simple texts. When Alan asks what is wrong, Sofia shuts down, her face turning into a mask of cold indifference. "Nothing is wrong," she says. "I just need some space." Alan is left bewildered. His logical mind tries to analyze the situation, searching for a rational explanation. Did he say something wrong? Did she stop caring? He tries to draw closer to fix the problem, but the more he reaches out, the faster Sofia withdraws. To Alan, Sofia's behavior looks like coldness, indifference, or a lack of love. But if we could peel back the layers of Sofia's mind and look at her evolutionary programming, we would see something entirely different. Sofia is not playing games. She is reacting to an ancient survival program that has been triggered in her brain. To understand this program, we have to introduce a fundamental concept in psychology, attachment theory, originally developed by British psychoanalyst John Bowlby in the mid-20th century. Bowlby realized that infants do not just need food and shelter to survive, they need a secure emotional bond with a primary caregiver. This bond is what he called an attachment system, a biological thermostat that monitors the distance between the child and the parent. In the 1950s, psychologist Harry Harlow's groundbreaking experiments with rhesus monkeys demonstrated that infant primates would choose a warm, soft-cloth surrogate mother over a wire mother that provided food, proving that emotional comfort is a primary biological need, not a secondary drive. Bowlby's colleague, developmental psychologist Mary Ainsworth, expanded on this in her famous 1978 strange situation experiment.
By observing how infants reacted to separation and reunion with their parents, Ainsworth formally classified different attachment styles for the first time, including the avoidant style. She noticed that some babies, when left alone, did not cry, and when the parent returned, they actively avoided contact, displaying a facade of calm. But this facade hides a deeper survival reality. Let us travel back in time to visit Sofia's ancient ancestor, Sophia_ancestor, living in a prehistoric hunter-gatherer clan. Imagine a period of severe ecological crisis, such as the last glacial maximum around 20,000 years ago, when resources were extremely scarce, and the adults of the tribe were overwhelmed by the brutal struggle to survive. Sophia's ancestor is a small infant. She is hungry, cold, and frightened. Naturally, her biological instinct is to cry out for help, to demand closeness and protection. But in a high-stress, resource-deprived environment, constant crying is dangerous. A baby that screams for attention wastes precious calories that the body cannot afford to lose. Even worse, loud crying in the wild acts as a beacon, alerting predators like saber-toothed cats or rival tribes to the camp's location. Furthermore, if the parents are already stressed and unable to provide warmth, a demanding baby might face rejection or abandonment by the tribe. Under these harsh conditions, the infant's brain makes a brilliant subconscious calculation. It realizes that the standard strategy of seeking closeness is a threat to survival. So, the brain activates an alternative survival strategy. It shuts down the attachment system. The infant stops crying. It learns to suppress its distress, to expect nothing from others, and to rely entirely on itself. By becoming hyper-independent, the baby minimizes the risk of rejection, conserves vital energy, and stays quiet and hidden from predators. In a hostile, unpredictable environment, avoidant attachment was not a psychological defect. It was a masterpiece of evolutionary adaptation. It was a genius strategy for staying alive. But what happens when this prehistoric survival strategy is carried forward into a modern, comfortable world? The environment changes, but the genetic code remains the same. Let us bring in Magnus, a wise guide who understands the biological machinery behind these behaviors. Magnus would point out that Sophia's withdrawal is not a conscious choice. It is driven by her endocrine and nervous systems. In a securely attached person, physical and emotional closeness triggers the release of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which creates feelings of safety, trust, and relaxation. Closeness lowers the heart rate and reduces cortisol, the primary stress hormone. But in Sophia's brain, the neural pathways have been wired differently. When Alan starts sharing deep emotions and seeking intimacy, Sophia's brain does not interpret this as a sign of safety. Instead, her amygdala, the brain's ancient threat detection center, registers this emotional vulnerability as a direct threat to her autonomy. And to her survival brain, a threat to autonomy is a threat to survival. Instead of flooding her system with oxytocin, Sophia's brain triggers a classic fight-or-flight response. Her nervous system is flooded with cortisol and adrenaline. Her heart rate increases, and she feels a physical sensation of suffocation, a desperate urge to escape. The only way Sophia can calm this chemical storm and bring her nervous system back to equilibrium is by creating distance. By pulling away, by shutting down her phone, by retreating into her own solitary space, she lowers her cortisol levels and restores her sense of safety. She is not running away from Alan. She is running away from the physiological panic inside her own body. This creates a tragic, self-reinforcing loop known as the anxious avoidant trap. When Sophia pulls away, Alan's ancestral alarm system goes off. Remember, to our ancestors, being excluded or ignored by a partner or the tribe was a death sentence. Alan's brain interprets Sophia's silence as a loss of connection, triggering a massive spike of anxiety. His survival instinct screams at him to restore the bond immediately. So, Alan chases. He calls, he texts, he asks to meet, he demands answers. But to Sophia's sensitized nervous system, Alan's chasing does not look like love. It looks like a predator closing in. The more Alan pursues, the more suffocated Sophia feels, and the faster she retreats. The cycle spins faster and faster, leaving both partners frustrated, hurt, and deeply misunderstood. How do we break this ancient, hardwired loop? How do we find inner peace when our biological programming is driving us apart? The answer lies in understanding the code. If Alan can step back and view Sofia's withdrawal through the lens of evolutionary biology, his perspective changes. He no longer sees her distance as a personal rejection or a sign that she does not care. He understands that she is simply a survivor, running a protective program designed to keep her safe in a hostile world. He stops chasing, which allows Sofia's nervous system to calm down and realize that closeness does not equal captivity. And if Sofia can recognize that her urge to run is not a sign that Alan is wrong for her, but a false alarm triggered by an ancient amygdala, she can learn to pause, breathe, and tolerate the discomfort of closeness. For a brain trained by thousands of generations of survival to rely only on itself, letting someone close is the ultimate act of courage. It is a declaration that the ancient winter is finally over, and it is safe to come warm oneself by the fire. What do you think? Have you ever felt the urge to run when someone got too close? Or have you been the one left staring at a silent screen? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to understand the hidden biological codes that shape our daily lives, make sure to subscribe to Inner Peace Tales. We will keep exploring the stories of our past to help you find peace in the present.